good day. So, in today's video, we're gonna talk about the first cartoon appearance of that evil version of Shazam. That's right, I'm talking about Black Adam. So, alright, Shazam!
Yeah! So, we start off with Billy Batson, Mary Batson, and Freddie Freeman watching a meteor fall to the Earth. Science! But Uncle Dudley takes a closer look at this meteor, and he is horrified. That's no meteor, that's a man, baby! So the kids turn into their Marvel family personas with Captain Marvel, Mary Marvel, and Captain Marvel Jr. so they can go and meet up with this meteor man. Meanwhile, the meteor guy lands on the streets and is looking for a princess. Huh, I think you might be in the wrong castle there, Mario. But nay, not Mario. Apparently, his name is Black Adam, and he starts attacking the citizens. To which the Marvels step in, and as mighty as they are, this Black Adam guy is just as strong. Even as strong as Uncle Marvel. Concerning! Also, Black Adam has enough of this crap, so he turns Captain Marvel Jr. into a dog of sorts and takes off. Again. So the Marvels go to the Wizard's Cave. For one, to help Junior not have to use a fire hydrant the rest of his life, and for two, to find out what the deal is with this Black Adam guy. And with that, the wizard regales us with a story of the origin of Black Adam, which happened 5,000 years ago in ancient Egypt. The wizard met up with this really noble and super awesome person named Teth-Adam. And Wizard figured, yeah man, this guy is so cool, I should give him some of my Shazam powers. To which he did. And Wizard started to call him Mighty Adam. But this Teth-Adam let the power go to his head. And he started to become a jerk and, well, just flat out evil. So because of that, the wizard started to call him Black Adam, and he kicked him off of the planet, sent him to the furthest edge of the universe. And Black Adam has been traveling back to Earth ever since, and he finally made it back here after 5,000 years. Which is deeply concerning because he's had 5,000 years to get even more pissed off than he was before. This man is truly evil and dangerous. So much so that Wizard tells the Marvel family Black Adam must be stopped at all costs, and there is only one way to stop him. To which, of course, you would ask, well, Wizard, what's the one way? And no word of a lie, he looks Captain Marvel directly in the eyes and he says, figure it out yourself. Like, holy crap! If you got some info to help him with that, maybe throw him a bone. But nay, nay! So the Marvels take off and try to find this Black Adam guy. And of course they figure, they're gonna go to the museum because, wouldn't you know it, there is an ancient Egyptian exhibit there featuring the mummy of Princess Jemai, who just happened to be Black Adam's bride-to-be in ancient Egypt. Wow! What are the coincidences of that, hey? Unfortunately, before the Marvels get there, Black Adam wakes Princess Jemai up to where she gets completely snarky with Black Adam. Where have you been, you big jerk? I've been waiting here for 5,000 years for your no-good self to show up. What have you been doing? Blah, blah, blah. Just totally leaning into the guy, hey? So Black Adam is totally screwed, but still he wants to make it up to her, right? Because when she's nice, she's so nice. But still, they leave. The curator of the museum, Mr. Tawny, gives Captain Marvel the Staff of Osiris. It started to glow when the princess arrived, so, it may be important of some kind. Thusly, the Staff of Osiris leads the Marvel family to where Black Adam is. which happens to be in Egypt. Well, yeah, that makes total sense once you think about it. Probably didn't need the staff for that, but I guess it's good for confirmation. As the Marvels confront Black Adam, the staff of Osiris falls on top of this spell-making cauldron and somehow, someway, completely ends Princess Jemai. She just disappeared into thin air. So, on one hand, Black Adam is a little relieved that he's not going to be nagged for all of eternity, but on the other hand, he really enjoyed being in a relationship. So, he hypnotizes Mary Marvel to be his new soon-to-be bride. Nonetheless, Black Adam and Mary are flying through space to go back to Adam's planet. Huh, why? I thought he wanted to conquer Earth. And in fact, he was born on Earth, isn't that his planet, Luckily, Captain Marvel and Marvel Jr. are chasing after Black Adam with renewed purpose to save their friend, Mary. Also, at this point, Captain Marvel figures out the riddle of how to stop Black Adam. So he puts a plan into place. The plan is to build a giant Trojan treasure box in space and to leave a small little scroll at the very bottom of it, to where Black Adam reads it, where it says, on one side, to whom it may concern, and on the other side, it says, Shazam. And with reading that out loud, poof, Black Adam turns to a pile of dust? What? How the hell does that happen? Was it Thanos? Was Thanos around or something and he snapped the gauntlet? Nope, sorry, that's the wrong comic company. Well, you see, when he's in his Shazam form, he's pretty much indestructible. But saying Shazam turned him back into his human form, which is a 5,000-year-old human form, So, yeah, he would be dust. So it makes total sense. So with that, the day is saved! Hooray! Black Adam is gone. Mary is snapped out of her hypnotic spell, so all is good. And so with that, that is the end of this Shazammy tale.
Man, holy crap, hey! That was actually a pretty awesome episode. One of those series that I haven't seen before, but I'm pretty glad that I finally put my papers on it. Pretty well done. Especially for the era that it was made in, the Super Friends era, which can be a very cheesy era. But this episode, for whatever little cheese there was actually still really good. I really liked the portrayal of Black Adam in this one. The classic doppelganger type villain, having the same power set as the hero and all that. Pretty cool history to him, pretty cool motives, all around pretty good character. And the fact that he was terrified of his girlfriend, eh? Was he terrified, just trying to get her approval? Or was he terrified because, she was so powerful? I'm pretty sure they had the same power sets, so it's probably the former. How many times did he forget to take the trash out or something, eh? And he'll still never hear the end of it. But still, having a villain that the main villain is terrified of, that's actually pretty cool. If you're in the Marvel family and you're thinking, holy crap, this Black Adam guy is horrible, we need to stop him. But if you've seen him cowering in fear to someone else, that would be kind of like some psychological warfare. If I'm scared of him and he's scared of her, oh boy, I really don't want to mess with her. Well, that's not how Shazam talks, but still. So, if you haven't seen this cartoon before, I suggest you do, because like I say, man, it's pretty darn good. But with that, we do have some more behind-the-scenes kind of things with Black Adam, with the Marvel kind of family and stuff like that going on over here.
So yes, indeed, hey? Black Adam! So how did this classic villain come to be? Well, for that, we will go back to the golden age of comics. So, Black Adam first appeared in Marvel Family #1 in 1945, which was published by Fawcett Comics. So our featured episode is loosely based on this comic book. At least the main points anyway. So in both stories, it does start off with parts of the Marvel family doing some sky gazing in a fancy telescope. You also had Black Adam come to Earth in modern times, where it took him 5,000 years to come back. We learn how Black Adam got his powers from the Wizard, which took place in ancient Egypt 5,000 years ago, where the Wizard gave a noble person named Teth-Adam the powers of Shazam. Because, this Teth-Adam guy seemed like a pretty good guy. Until he got his powers, which corrupted him completely. Instead of serving mankind, he served his own good. He ended the life of Pharaoh and took over Egypt. To which, at that point, Wizard figured, oh my god, this guy totally sucks. I can't even take his powers back, it's too late. So he banished Teth-Adam to the edge of the universe. Although at this point, Teth-Adam was calling himself Black Adam. And it took Black Adam 5,000 years to come back. A big fight ensues. Black Adam is tricked into saying the word Shazam, converting him back to a human, a 5,000-year-old human, so he dead. So for the most part, those points are pretty much the same from the comic book and the cartoon. Also, not quite. The cartoon did not mention how Pharaoh met his end at the hands of Black Adam. The comic book did not have any storyline with Black Adam coming back for his love, the princess, and how they were gonna conquer the world together. None of that. The comic also did not feature them going into space, did not feature Mary Marvel getting hypnotized, and did not have that giant treasure box, just floating in space. Uncle Marvel was able to trick Black Adam into saying Shazam by just getting the name of Shazam wrong, to which Black Adam said, "Bah, you blithering old fool, it's pronounced Shazam!" And then, boom, dead. And so with that was the end of Black Adam. But it was, for real. He was intended to be a one-and-done character. So they ended him, pretty effectively. Really wasn't a whole lot of thought process behind the guy either. It's kind of cool to have a Shazam power going up against another Shazam power. They just needed a quick little storyline of why no Shazam person's ever heard of Black Adam before. So the whole Egypt angle was pretty good. So to the point of this featured episode, you're technically caught up. But there is more to it. So in the 1950s or so, Fawcett Comics went out of business. And they sold all of their intellectual property, which eventually found its way to DC Comics. And they started making new Shazam comics. But they wanted to bring back this Black Adam character. So, in Shazam number 8, in 1973, they did run a reprint of Marvel Family number 1, Black Adam's first appearance, just to get people, familiar with the character again, right? Because later, in Shazam number 28, in 1977, after all these years, Black Adam finally had his second original comic book story. In it, Dr. Sylvana got the dust pile known as Black Adam and brought him back to life. Which, yeah, it's kind of interesting, right? Also, it kind of doesn't make sense, but that's how it goes in the funny books, I guess. So now that Black Adam is officially back in the comic books, in DC comic books, they started to use him more and more and more. And his popularity grew and grew and grew, to the point where he even started getting his own comic books and his own movie. Man, you gotta be doing pretty good to get all that stuff. So good for him. But for the basics for Black Adam, which were, pretty basic, that's pretty much all I got up until the point of this featured episode. So with other developments with him, we'll get to them when we get to them. And so with this, that, those, and the other things, I guess that's it. Also, if you're interested, I created my own comic book channel, 215 Comics. And currently, I have created my own cartoon series, The Adventures of the Density. And recently started a radio series featuring my newest character, Elastomorph, with more titles to come. So if you want to check it out, I'll leave a link up top here to that channel and some links at the end of the video. Yeah! Right on, and there you go. So thanks for watching the video. I hope you liked it as much as I did making it. Also, feel free to check out the source material that I featured in this video. And if you want to leave a comment on anything you may have liked or things I might have missed in this, feel free to do so. Or anything else, just to say hi. That's cool too. And other than that, have a great day. Thanks.